Hello, everyone. D. Alfredo Strowski here. In this recording, I'm going to be presenting my third in a series of commentary about generative AI, ChatGPT, and related technologies. Hopefully, this is the last one, which may bring you to the question, why is he even doing this in the first place? Just as before, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of worrying about generative AI. Too busy. I got better things to do. Among them, learning more about generative AI. I'm a proponent of it. However, I find a hard time believing that it's going to be taking over the world as soon as 6 months from now. Many have backed off their commentary from the last year or so, but yet some persist. Some keep on persisting with the point that I'm calling it the AI double down. So I'm going to go through some of these points here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I want to get through this video and get back to my regularly scheduled programs. And if you've been watching any of my content, like, subscribe, hey, thanks. Really appreciate it. Motivates me. I don't get paid. I'm not monetized. Just trying to get some of the content out and get it to more people than I would through regular channels. So thanks for listening. I hope it helps. Instead of going through the contents here, I'm just going to jump into it, but you see where I'm going. Short story before I even begin. An unnamed mentor, I don't want to pull anyone else into my positions here, told me a long time ago, how do you get funding for your project? How do you get approval? You need to draw attention. You need to create extremes. You need to create urgency. Bold claims get attention, which is for that reason this video will probably never go viral, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. This to me is just an efficient means of communication, so I'm fine with that. But this can give you a little bit more understanding as to why people that, in my opinion, are very smart coming up with these claims that I don't think are being completely intellectually honest are accurate and have not weathered very well, and they've had to go and change their opinion or modify it or clarify it, which perhaps they've given themselves a little bit of wiggle room in the first place. But let's jump through it and move forward. This whole thing about ChatGPT breaking the Turing test, is this breaking news? Is this even news? I'm surprised. Okay, this is so old. The Turing test has been proved to be broken or satisfied over a decade ago. Okay, it's even in Wikipedia. Okay, that it has already been satisfied. And if you don't know what the Turing test is, look it up. It's a test for intelligence. And it's some interesting stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it here. Okay. Next topic, Devon, insert flavor of the month, whatever project. There's another project that's going to solve the problem. It's all in this category, self-healing code. Okay, so this is from somebody who's worked on intelligent compilers back in the early 90s. A simple feedback loop would introduce that concept of self-healing code. So that is not really shocking technology, okay? And for people to present this in the media as something that is just amazing. Just who would have thought of that? Okay. Well, even in MIT, they published about it in 2009. I could bring in article after article after article. Okay. And again, some of this has been conveniently left behind or omitted quite simply because people want to present this whole idea as being shockingly new and that it's just exploding. Okay. Now the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, everyone is a programmer now. I got to give the guy credit. He's got a nice jacket. I like his glasses too. But this thing about everybody being a programmer, watch my prior two videos. I'm going a lot more detail. People have been saying this for a long time. So I'm not going to repeat myself, but what I do think is important, that one of his peers is even contradicting him, okay, and saying that I think coding will still be important in the future. Okay, so what did it even mean in the first place? And you can argue semantics, and I don't want to, but the feeling that many people are coming back with is, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I better just study biology or whatever he tells you to. I don't know why we can't have AI learn biology, but that's another topic in and of itself. I don't know about everything he's saying to debate it to the greatest degree. Elon Musk, mad respect for this guy. Okay, he's just amazing in my opinion. Okay, I don't agree with 100%, especially here, but he is a role model of mine, no doubt. But this claim about artificial general intelligence in 6 months, I just don't think he's being intellect. I don't even think he believes that statement himself. He's too smart to believe that. Why do I say that? Again, you look at the prior two videos to give you the flavor, but the whole idea that it's moving so fast, it's happening so fast, it's going to take over in 6 more months. Well, here I'm going to dig into one of my old textbooks that I've used for teaching for many years. AI hasn't been around for 12 months. Okay. It came to be 13 years after horse and buggies. Okay. So it's almost as old as when cars were popularized. So AI started in 1943. That even predated von Neumann architecture. Okay. It's been around a long time, and it has had a lot of people promising a lot of things for decades and decades and decades. In the 50s, they called it the Great Expectations. This is just more documented proof of what I've said already. And this general AI sounds like, and has been described by many as AI assist applications governing other applications. Gee, sounds like meta knowledge. That's from the 80s. Okay. That's a long time ago. Okay. So go ahead and say it's going to happen in 2025. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people, very smart, have been working with these concepts for decades and decades and decades prior to this. So if it does happen, which I don't believe it to be, being intellectually honest and what I know from history, at the very least, it'll be a long time coming. Okay, didn't follow this guy. Okay, just don't say that. Okay, and I make the comment here. Okay, it's not a rapid acceleration. Okay, it's been getting better. AI has been incorporated in just about everything in our lives for the last few decades. A couple extra thoughts that come to mind here. Theory of computation. You look at my other videos on my channel, I have lectures on theory of computation. But what do we learn in theory of computation is that we look at concepts of the halting problem and categorization of problems, is that we'll always have more problems than languages, more problems than applications if we want to equate languages to applications. Okay. Without getting into deep theoretical discussion, what's my point here? We'll always have more challenging things to work on. Okay. If the easier tasks are relieved, why don't we work on simpler problems? It would make me feel better about AI taking over the world, if we could solve easier things technology-wise, why don't we have commercial flights to the moon? Okay, we've been there 50 years ago. I can't duplicate that. I don't understand. Why didn't India send a manned mission? They're pretty smart. They got a lot of people, a lot of smart people. Believe me. Why can't we solve some of our simple day-to-day problems? Why do WebEx still fail sometimes or printing? Okay, why can't we just solve it with AI? If AI is going to solve it, AI is going to is self-aware and capable of creative thought. Okay, why can't it solve these seemingly simple tasks if we're being intellectually honest with ourselves? Okay, my vision, similar in nature to what I've referred to before, is no surprise, right? Our job's going to be replaced. Yes, they will be replaced. They have been, they will be, and they'll continue to be replaced for any number of reasons. There's a YouTuber who describes the financial effects. My thoughts on the topic. Okay, my job will be replaced by another programmer that is using generative AI if I refuse to use it. Correspondingly, if someone's obsessed with generative AI, that's going to have to automatically run everything. He may be replaced, okay, because it needs to have its place in our activities. It can replace, it can satisfy that vision, right, of extreme programming, paired programming. My pair is the generative AI. That's the sweet spot. Final points. Told you I didn't want to blather on and on. Okay. You're going to lose your job. Okay. One way or another, eventually. All right. That's a fact. Twitter doesn't need thousands of people to run a chat server. Okay. It's got nothing to do with AI, in my opinion. In the worst case, we'll be working on harder problems. Okay. We'll find new and more interesting things to do. There's a lot of problems that haven't been solved. Okay. In the meantime, can we fix WebEx? Can we just get it to work? And when I mean work 100% every time without fail. Okay. As I said before, if you don't use generative AI, yes, you will be replaced by someone who is. And to the people who think that this whole extreme, okay, that anyone who hasn't embracing technology, okay, hasn't been studying the Amish, because they're doing fine. In fact, they're growing at a faster rate than most populations. So I didn't make this up, guys. I just read it. Okay, check the references. Okay. My final message, I'll leave you with this. Bobby McFerrin, he is if you don't know who he is, look him up. He is a poet, author, musician. He coined the phrase, don't worry, be happy. And he looks pretty good. Okay, so I think we can learn something from Mr. McFerrin. He's got more hair than I do. Okay, and he's not a young man. He's older than me, and so that makes him pretty old. So don't worry, be happy. That's his coined phrase and song. And I think that's a great approach. Don't worry about it. Keep learning, keep moving, and be happy. Okay. So thanks for listening. Check out my channel if you haven't. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Talk to you soon.